Welcome back to the Bonsai Movie Crew. Joining me today is Karen and Eric. You guys just not gonna talk? They're like, oh, we're just gonna sit here and giggle.
No, I just like how you paused for a second. Like I was like, what is he pausing for? I was waiting for the intro first.
It's a writer's strike on Eric's end.
Fuck this, I'm done. Guys, I'm getting him.
I'm just gonna sit there.
Anyway, welcome back to another sweet ass episode where we discuss another random fucking movie. Anyway, check out our TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and our YouTube, of course, because that's probably where you're watching this on anyway. We also have a Rumble that I'm really bad at uploading to because it seems like I think I uploaded to Rumble like 2 days later. Whatever. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and leave us your comments. We want to hear from you people. Also, make sure you get on your Spotify or iTunes, whatever, wherever you listen to your podcast, listen to us at, and give us a good rating and review because that helps a lot. And if you want to email us your phone numbers. We're still waiting on some of those at the Bonsai Movie BonsaiMovieCrew@gmail.com. All right, I guess we should talk about some news.
Joseph's got some fucking news.
Go for it.
So there's some shit going on. All right, so first off, has anybody heard about the Danny Masterson thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Danny Masterson was convicted of 2 counts of rape. It says on the morning of April 25th, testimonies began on the second rape trial of That 70s Show actor Danny Masterson after an initial trial ended last November in a hung jury and mistrial. The first witness on the stand was one of Masterson's alleged victims, Jane Doe 3. It's a weird name.
That is a weird name.
Obviously.
Why do they use that name?
Yeah, what if somebody's out there actually is named Jane Doe?
Maybe it's illegal to name your kid Jane Doe because I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
But no, like, I know that there's a reason that they want to be anonymous, but why?
Rape is a pretty brutal thing. Maybe they just don't want their name all over the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That, and let's face it, Church of Scientology.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot he was in that. Mm-hmm. Good point.
So the first witness, who had been in a relationship with Masterson between 96 and 2000. How can you rape somebody you're in a relationship with for 6 years?
It wasn't consensual.
Yeah, I mean, it can still be.
I guess, yeah. You know, okay, sorry. Don't take me as like this guy. Like, oh, he'll rape people. Joseph will rape people. He thinks it's okay.
Crystal, are you okay? Blink twice.
Yeah, blink twice. Deputy DA Reinhold Mueller. That's such the coolest name. Reinhold Mueller.
Yeah, it is actually.
Asked her how she was feeling. A little raped.
Oh.
God damn it.
Sorry. I'm a little insensitive. She said not great. She said not great. When Mueller asked, I don't even know why why am I reading this?
You're the wrong person. Yeah, wrong person for this.
Yeah, I don't even think I should be reading this.
Although I don't know if I would have made it past the not great either.
The not great part. Like, so essentially what happened. Okay, so I'll just break it down for you. Danny Masterson was convicted and found guilty of 2 counts of rape. And essentially he's looking at up to 30 years because both counts he can get a maximum of 15 years per count. So he's looking at 30 years in prison for those 2 accounts of rape. Whenever they found him guilty, they automatically slapped cuffs on him and hauled his ass off to jail, where he currently sits until he is what's the word that I'm not
arraigned?
Arraigned, yeah. All right, so moving on. I got one more little thing of news here. Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx is facing a challenging journey to regain his mobility after a mysterious health crisis that occurred while filming Netflix's Back in Action in Atlanta. The 55-year-old star has been undergoing intensive physiotherapy at a top physical goddamn, say that 12 times fast. At a top physical rehabilitation center in Chicago, according to information obtained by Radar Online. The facility renowned for who gives a fuck about the facility? So essentially what happened was like Jamie Foxx suffered some kind of stroke or something like that, and some other crap happened, and he was in a coma for a little bit, but he's back out of it. And TikTok's blowing up saying that it's the coronavirus
that made it happen to him.
Well, it's not the coronavirus, it's the vaccine that did it to him. And blah,
vaccine.
blah. Now, I'm not going to say it wasn't, because I don't know. I'm not a scientist. But I am going to say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, unless you know the truth, you don't need to be
shut the fuck up, man.
But I mean, there have been cases where the coronavirus, or the vaccine has caused issues.
But the fact is, sit back and think, like, he hasn't had a vaccine in ages. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
It's a late reaction.
Yeah, it's a delayed reaction, I guess. So I don't know what's going on. It could be.
Yeah,
it's possible.
It's very possible. But
why is it so dark in here?
You forgot the ring.
Oh, lights. I forgot the lights.
You did.
That's what you
something.
forgot.
See, I am forgetting shit. Hold on a minute, guys.
We'll brighten your day up.
Yeah, we'll brighten your day up. Here, tell you what, I'll brighten your day up. Look at this.
That's funny because, like, right when you said, "Why is it so dark in here?" I was just thinking it's a little dark in here.
Dark in here.
Hi, you can see us now. Oh God!
Oh no! We may still have audio. We don't know.
No, we do. It's all good, guys. It's all good.
We're coming back.
Fuck, man. Okay. I should probably just stay in my seat.
Please stay in your seat for the duration of the ride.
Make sure we're all still good. Like, God.
We're still recording. We're all right.
It's all good, guys. Don't worry. I'm still alive. Hold on. I need to delete some stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
It's not porn, I promise. Okay, hold on. Yes. You know what happened last time? The laptop filled up, and then we had to redo the whole thing. So I'm just taking precautions here.
Joseph had too much porn on there.
Too much porn. No porn on this bitch. All right, we're good.
That's the other computer. You're the one that sounds like it's gonna blow up.
Was whining.
No, it's just always moaning. Anyway, that's all I got for news.
Like a whine
you don't want to talk about Hocus Pocus 3?
I do. Yeah. Where is that? Did you send that to me?
No, Alec did.
I want to talk about that Devin dude, Devin Sawa.
Oh, yeah, go. Well, let him do this one, or unless you want to do that one, I don't care.
No, I was just saying that he said that he thought about
Devin Sawa would be interested in playing.
I just got a message from my buddy Zach. It says, Congress and DOD confirmed alien vehicles recovery is a real thing? What the hell is that? What does that mean?
Oh, we are still in a bit of news, so this is...
I guess so. Hold on. I'm just saying, huh?
Just in.
This just in.
This just in. Yeah, hot breaking news.
We'll go to Joseph.
We will keep you posted as the information comes into us. He knows I'm recording. He knows we're recording right now. He's like, add this to your news.
Perfect timing.
He's right. God damn it. News is going to take forever.
3 hours.
Son of a bitch. Yes, 3 hours later.
Because we keep adding to it.
Yeah.
Podcast just full of news.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, we never got to the movie. This is just news this week.
Yeah, news this week. That's it.
Went from 2 things to 500.
Hey, shit's going down this week, man. Like, there's fucking forest fires up in Canada.
That we can
see and smell the smoke
from here.
That's a lot. Everybody's like, you know why it's misty, right? I'm like, why? They're like, because of the forest fires. It's like, what fucking forest fires? Right? They're like, in Canada. I was like, in Canada? Like, what? Yeah. We're in Ohio, dude. Like,
next thing we know, we got volcanic ash is coming.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
All right, breaking news. A whistleblower came out earlier today and said that the U.S. government is in possession of alien spacecraft. Congress has announced that they will be doing a full investigation.
Hold on.
Oh my! Hold on. A full investigation into it, and now the DoD has came out and admitted that they have a operation already in effect to recover alien spacecraft worldwide, i.e., aliens exist. This is his words, not mine.
They are just trying to distract us from.
No, I feel like Zach is trying to distract us from the podcast.
Here's the funny part. Okay, so we're getting all this information. Then I also heard another story where he said a mothership was found in our galaxy system, like within like last week or whatever. And now I'm hearing about this. Now I'm sitting here thinking about, yep, Independence Day's happening.
He said, I said, dude, you know I'm recording, right? He said, no. I was like,
you lying sack of shit.
Thought it was another hour. You caught me writing news, so you caught me.
You caught him with his pants down.
News.
No, he caught him with his news down.
So it's part of our news now. He's like whenever who was it calls in the Bob and Tom all the time. The airplane guy. Or no, the other guy. Shit, he's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian.
Donnie Baker is
Donnie Baker, yeah.
Calls in the most.
Yeah, he calls in the most. He's like Donnie Baker calling in right now. Donnie Baker here. Fox News has it right up. I'll have to check that.
Well, we can always believe everything.
I will bring up
CNN,
the alien news next week whenever I find out more about this, because this is breaking news to me.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you get your panties in a bunch because
you're gonna have to wait another.
You're gonna have to wait.
I think it's a distraction.
It is. Well, I think Zach is distracting me right now.
Hocus Pocus 3.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 3. You say you did send me the thing, or
no? Alec did.
Okay, yeah. Variety. Hocus Pocus 3 in development at Disney. A third Hocus Pocus film is officially in development at Walt Disney. President Sean Bailey has confirmed. In a profile with the New York Times, Bailey stated that yes, Hocus Pocus 3 is happening when discussing additional upcoming live-action projects in development at the company. I don't even want to go any farther than that because I'm not happy about it. So.
I saw it on Facebook like the day before Alex sent that.
I did after the first one.
And I cared so little about it that I didn't tell anybody.
I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because the last one wasn't good. They've almost ruined the first one for me.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Almost. Yeah. See, the only cool thing... I'm not like most people, though. If I watch the first one, I can pretend like the second one doesn't even exist.
Yeah, no, I can too. So, if it's bad enough.
There is one?
Oh,
yeah. So they were talking about doing a Hocus Pocus 2, right?
That's weird that they're going to do a third one
whenever the second one doesn't even exist.
Well,
like there's not even a second one.
You were talking about where they made a third one, but didn't or talk about.
Oh yeah.
The fifth one, and then there was
Thanksgiving. They made a first one, and then they made a third one, and the second one doesn't exist like really at all. But the third one, they keep talking about how it was made, but nobody can find it or whatever.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Devon
Sawa.
He wants to play Freddy.
He said he wants to. That's not really news.
I know.
But
there's just interest there.
He kept.
Well, my thing is like, how do you guys feel about it?
Oh, I'd
be all right with that. I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think he'd be an all right choice.
My choices have always been Robert Englund and then Kevin Bacon, but Kevin Bacon's getting up there in years too.
Yeah.
So Devon Sawa, 100%. I think he could
do crazy pretty well.
Oh no, he can. Don't you remember?
Coach him.
Was it SLC Punk when he was a crab person?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I think he could.
He's done quite a few different characters in the Chucky series. Honestly, he's the only reason I watched the Chucky series because I love Devon Sawa.
Yeah.
I like
Devon Sawa. I think he'd do all right.
I think he could do it. Yeah. The only thing I'd be concerned about is the voice, but.
Well, they changed Robert Englund's voice.
No, he did most of that.
Like the deeper?
Yeah.
Really?
It was his. Mm-hmm. Yep. But I'm just saying. I mean, they can do miracles nowadays. That's not a worry enough for me to be like, no. I mean, I think honestly, I had never considered him before, but yeah.
Now that he's on your radar, you're like,
now he's
okay,
yeah. I'm 100%. I could see him do it.
Yeah.
I could see him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be good with him.
He's got the build, everything. Like he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so what you guys been watching?
What the hell have you been watching?
Whose Line? The Ringer. Jumanji, the first one. Welcome to the Jungle.
That's not the first one.
Or the first one that with The Rock. Because
The
you guys were
first
telling
reboot.
us, yeah, tell me that I need to watch them. So I got that one done. That was good. It was funny.
Yeah.
The Meg, but I fell asleep, so I don't know if that counts. And I probably won't finish it.
I don't blame you. They're coming out with the second one for whatever reason. Because I guess Jason Statham needs to fight sharks now. So
I guess. The crime scene, the Times Square killer. I finished that. And Monsters Inside, the 24 Faces of Billy Milligan.
that's a good one.
I finished it.
Yeah.
That was really good. And Love, Death, and Robots. That's it.
So you finished it all?
Mm-hmm. Love, Death, and Robots.
Okay. So you saw the one episode that I was talking about, the very artsy one that was like,
Yes, with the dancing.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I didn't like it.
you didn't like it?
Mhm.
Oh my God. It was like mesmerizing.
No, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just thought the story was dumb.
I don't even understand the story. I didn't care about that. I was just watching all the
Just
artsy
because
stuff.
it's pretty, I can't get behind it.
Oh
just
fuck,
'cause
I
it's
can,
pretty.
dude. I can. Give me good visuals. I'm
Yeah, I
I'm there.
know. Avatar, we talked about. This.
Yes.
I it has to have a story
still
for
haven't
me.
seen
I'm
that
sorry.
It's good. Avatar's good. Eric, what have you been watching, man?
So I watched Tag again with Kendra because she's wanting to watch it
Again?
again.
That's too much. That's too much tag in one
It's
month.
that good.
I
it's
enjoyed
not
it.
that
I
good.
liked it.
I think it's funny.
I think it's
Yeah.
funny, yeah,
Good
but it's not
comedy.
like watch twice in a month good.
Well, I mean, like I said, Kendra wanted to watch it, so I watched it with her.
Well,
kinda
I watched
like
Renfield.
Our
Hall
movie night.
I
3
give it a
times.
6.5. Six.
I give
Six.
it about 7.5 at least.
Tag?
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost an 8.
What?
What?
Motherfucker, you got
No
some
way.
weird taste in movies, man.
I'd have to watch it again. It's
Wait
been
till
so
wait till I
long.
get my last one in. Lionheart. I watched that one.
Which one is that?
John Claude Van Damme.
Oh,
where he's
yeah.
a fighter.
Yeah.
Well, like he is in every movie, but
Yeah, right. He knows how to fight in every movie.
yeah. And then I watched Ip Man: The Awakening.
What?
Ip Man: The Awakening.
IP, like IP.
It's
Oh.
Bruce. Ip Man was Bruce Lee's teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good old Chinese martial arts flick.
hmm
Sounds like it.
They've got like 6 movies out now.
It just cracks me up when
Okay,
like
I'll
they're
take your
always
word
just
for it.
laughing,
What?
where they're always just laughing.
Oh.
That's all
Nothing
I
compares
watched.
to the dog.
I watched half of an episode of Supernatural today. That's all I've watched all week.
Man, you are killing it.
I know. I haven't watched shit. I haven't played any video games.
I didn't play very much.
I haven't done
either.
anything. Every waking moment that I have, it's spent doing something around the house or outside or something. And I try. So I want to sit down and just like, I think Sunday we weren't doing anything. And I was like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to chill out, watch TV. I will say I bought 4 movies at the store. So Walmart had like a bunch of Westerns on sale.
Oh yeah.
So on Blu-ray, so I got 310 to Yuma on Blu-ray. I got
I actually
Hateful-
have seen that one.
The Hateful Eight
I've seen
on
that.
Blu-ray. I got Django Unchained on Blu-ray
I've seen that.
for that for $10, and I also got Young Guns on Blu-ray.
I've seen that.
So-
I've seen all of those.
Yeah, well, of course.
Oh,
Have
I
you?
thought
You
it-
say you have seen 310 to Yuma?
Yeah.
The movie's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I was only gonna get the other 3, and then Chris was like 310 to Yuma. I was like, got it.
Mine.
Mine. So there were other ones I could have grabbed up, but I was like, these are the most important ones. So I was disappointed they didn't have Young Guns 2, actually. I was like, I want Young Guns 2. Where's that
You
at?
know how long it's been since I've seen those movies though, like Young Guns.
If you
like,
love
I-
Guns N' Roses and Westerns, that's all you need to know.
Roses and Westerns.
Yeah. That's all you need to know. I love that they have Guns N' Roses in this fucking movie. It's a Western. It's like they're playing some Guns N' Roses. Like, yeah,
but it was
okay.
the 80s, so it made sense.
It made sense.
You
Yeah,
know,
it was awesome.
Even today, you hear that song, you think Young Guns.
Young Guns, exactly.
Every time.
Yep.
Well, both songs, actually. You think of Young Guns 1, Guns 2.
Yep.
Both great movies.
They're both. Yeah, they are really good.
I remember
movies.
liking them. I just haven't seen them in
Oh, they're
like
so
100
good.
years.
I like a lot.
Definitely.
Of those movies.
Anything with Emilio Estevez. is
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely Emilio
Stone,
Estevez's best movie in my opinion. Like, I love him in Young Guns.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with you.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
loved it.
Wait.
As an actor, like throwing his like emotion. Yeah,
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
say like as an actor, but like as like just because he's like on full fucking like it's his fully like committed to like being the biggest smartass badass motherfucker in the room
I think
as
that's
Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite movie with him in it, all around.
My favorite.
I love
movie,
his character more.
My
than
favorite
I just-
movie with Emilio is what's that one?
That's what I was going to
Work-
say. My favorite comedy with him in it is
Men at Work.
Men at Work.
Men at
yeah.
Work.
Oh,
Okay, you're
man.
right. I forgot
That
about
shit's
that.
funny.
That is a good fucking
That
movie.
shit is funny.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I hate Red Cops.
You're right. I take that back. That might. Oh man, that's a tough one.
No,
Golf
Young
Clap.
Guns is a great all around movie
Yes.
for the drama.
That's true,
and
yeah.
and
But then
the
again,
story,
but
like,
then
Men
again,
at
like
Work, oh,
yeah,
that's
but then again, like Men at Work is
comedic
like
genius.
Men at Work is like Young Guns meets fucking like I don't know Weekend at Bernie's. That's what it reminds me of. It's like the
yeah,
mixture
well,
of those
I mean,
two.
you got
kinda.
the dead guy.
Right? Yeah, like it's those two things. So I don't know, man. I really love Men at Work. I grew up on that movie.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like plus it's him and his brother, man. Him and Charlie Sheen, dude.
Yeah.
Like in their golden era.
Oh yeah.
So
Hey,
Yeah.
they thought they killed him with a BB gun.
It's like we said, man. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he thought he'd kill her with a BB gun. It's like I said, man. All the
It's like, it's
best
a
movies
BB
came out in the
gun.
late '80s, early '90s. Like I said,
Killed him, man.
I fucking love that movie, man.
Oh man, I haven't thought about that movie. Well, actually, I watched.
God,
it
I kind of
want to
watch it now.
I know it's really funny.
It's really
so
good.
funny.
Golf clap.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Moving
All
on.
right.
Moving on.
Let's talk about the movie.
All right. So this week we are talking about Die Hard from 1988. You got the plot synopsis?
I do. NYPD cop John McClane's plan to reconcile with his estranged wife is thrown for a serious loop when minutes after he arrives at her office, the entire building is overtaken by a group of terrorists. With little help from the LAPD, wisecracking McClane sets out to single-handedly rescue the hostages and bring the bad guys down.
Yeah.
All right, so from here we're going to issue a very, very heavy spoiler warning. So if you've not seen this movie, which I'm pretty sure everybody in their right mind has seen this movie, then you might want to go watch the movie before you, because we're gonna talk about the entire movie from beginning to end. So, anywho,
Let's get into this.
let's get into this. Yeah. Okay. So this so I found something really awesome. I no longer have to do full plot synopsis or like full plot run throughs because apparently they have it all on Fandom, which is awesome. And so I'm just gonna read it off of Fandom, and this way I can take my own notes while I watch the movie instead of writing cliff notes. So we're gonna start out. It's called an in-depth synopsis, and if you guys want to read it, it's on fandom.com. You just type in diehard.fandom.com, and it'll give you the full plot synopsis. All right, so on Christmas Eve, 1988, John McClane sits on a flight headed towards Los Angeles. A fellow passenger notices he is stressed about the flight and recommends that he take the time to make barefoot fists with his toes on the carpet after he arrives to his destination as a cure for jet lag. After landing and collecting his luggage, John sees a chauffeur holding a sign labeled J. McClane. The driver, Argyle, drives him to Nakatomi Plaza, and on the way, roots out that John still works as a police detective in New York City, but that his wife, Holly Gennaro, relocated to California for a great career. Both John and Holly thought the other would bend and move to join the other, but that they are both too hard-headed. So, so I just want to, like, whenever I first saw this, I was like, who paid for the limo? And then it was explained that her boss paid for the limo.
Yeah,
I wrote it down and I was like, never mind. It was the boss man.
I know. I wrote down, like, why would his wife do that?
Yeah.
Like, that was I thought his wife maybe did it.
I want to know how her boss knew that he was going to be in town, because she didn't even know to send a limo.
No, she did, because that's why she called the housekeeper.
No, she said she wasn't sure.
They were under
She
speculation.
didn't know.
No, she was, like, waiting for him to call to let her know when he got in.
Oh, I was under the influence under the understanding that she didn't know if he was coming.
Because that's why she called the housekeeper, and she said, did he call yet?
They were expecting him to come. They just didn't know if he would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they sent the limo driver just in case he was.
I gotcha. And by the way, Argyle, the driver, I like that dude.
I felt bad for him. All he was trying to do was have a conversation.
With the bear?
No, with John.
They did have a conversation. Why did you feel bad?
Well, he's just trying to be nice and have a full conversation. And
Well, he had a
John's just
full-blown
like,
conversation
"Dude,
with his
just
teddy
shut
bear.
up. Like, I'm not one to talk to you. Like, the whole time, I'm like, man, he's just trying to be nice.
He wore him down, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, he got a little bit out of him. He was John was just trying to put on that, like, men don't talk about their feelings kind of, attitude.
Yeah.
All right, so meanwhile at Nakatomi Plaza, Joe Takagi addresses the employees of the Nakatomi Corporation at their company Christmas party in the floor 30 foyer. Wow, say that 10 times fast. He announces that that day was one of the most successful days in the company's history. Holly Gennaro walks through the crowd, finishing up some paperwork as she walks down a hallway. Her co-worker, Harry Ellis, flirts with her. When she arrives at her office, she's God damn, I can't fucking read today. She excuses her pregnant secretary, Jeannie, to go join the party and shows Harry to the door as well. She then speaks with her young daughter, Lucy, and nanny, Paulina, on the phone about John's arrival, stating that she isn't certain if, see right here's the thing, she isn't certain if he made his flight or not. She looks at the photo of her, John, and their children, Lucy and John. She sighs and places it face down on the shelf. John's limo pulls up to the entry of Nakatomi Plaza. Argyle tells him he will wait in the garage until John calls and informs him that God damn.
Yeah, they got lucky.
He's made other plans. John greets the secretary guard and uses a computer to find out that Holly has changed her last name to her maiden name, Gennaro. He takes the elevator to the 30th floor, walks through the party, and meets Joe Takagi, who shows him
back
to Holly's office.
Back to when he was got to the computer. Did they have touchscreens back then?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah,
It's Nakatomi Tower, dude. They had touchscreens. The fanciness is even in the name.
This isn't the first movie that in the 80s that had it either.
Star Trek, dude. Star Trek.
I didn't think they had touchfucking back then.
Yeah, remember Star Trek and all that stuff?
That's like futuristic. This is like...
That's what I was saying.
Come on now. Fucking with me here.
Well, he even called it like a toy, or he's like, nice toy. You know what I mean? Like, that's something they definitely didn't have a lot. You didn't see a lot of back then. You go, I can touch the screen. This is cool.
Did it talk about how Ellis is doing coke off of somebody's desk when she walks in?
That's not there yet. We're not there yet.
Oh, we're not there yet.
No, that's whenever John walks in.
Okay, that's a prudent point to make. Just so you know.
In the office sits Harry Ellis, who obviously finished snorting cocaine.
There we are.
There he is.
Moments earlier, he introduces himself to John, informs him that he missed some, and Harry quickly brushes his nose with his fingers. Holly enters, and the two jilted lovers give each other a subtle greeting across the room. Harry informs John that Holly just closed the biggest deal in the company's history and received a new Rolex watch. Ooh.
It's
Joe-
a Rolex.
Yeah, it's a Rolex. Joe and Harry leave as John asks for a place to wash up. As John washes up, the two comment that they missed each other, but quickly begin arguing about Holly's decision to move to California. They are interrupted by Ginny, who requests Holly join the party. So has anybody seen that Ginny girl before? She looked familiar as fuck.
I
Like I've seen
remember
her in something else.
I don't think so.
No?
I remember
Okay.
John saying he missed her too. I think he was just like automatically went straight to, "Why'd you change your name?"
Anger.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading the note. All right, so outside, a Mercedes pulls up to the Nakatomi Plaza. Entry as a Pacific Courier truck pulls into the garage. Carl Vresky and Theo approach the Nakatomi Security Guard 1 at Security Guard 1. That's probably his name in the credits, too.
Probably.
At his desk while Theo talks about basketball nonchalantly.
Yeah.
And Carl shoots the guard in the forehead. Theo hops over the desk and begins using a computer to shut off all the elevators in the building except one, as well as sealing all the exists. I think they meant exits to the garage and the building. Carl uses a flash grenade and his silenced pistol to take out the other security guard in the garage. So, why did he need a flash grenade? The dude, for one, the security guard wasn't armed. And also, he caught him completely off guard. He could just walk around the corner and just shot him.
Yeah,
It
he
looked
would have
cool.
known.
Huh?
It looked cool.
I guess.
Gave it a action.
Just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I also
Especially for one guard, you know what I mean? Like,
I also need to note that they stopped the escalators,
yeah, they did. Yeah.
and Jeremiah said, "Whoop-de-doo! Now there's stairs."
Yeah. Yeah, they stopped the escalators.
You just
Oh
see
no, what do I
somebody-
do?
Oh no! How do I get down?
My legs don't work this way.
Oh, you can still slide down that bitch. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
I know, just,
slide down the handrail.
Oh no!
they're just
How
stairs.
do we get down?
Who made a
now?
what comedian said that too? Like, who puts up an out of order sign on an escalator? They're just stairs now. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
It was just funny because he was sitting there and he was like, "Whoop-de-doo! Now there's stairs."
I
Can
didn't
you imagine if, like say this escalators do stop when you're on them, and they just like if you're standing on it, it just wants to go down, so you're like trying to run up it, you're not going nowhere.
Well, imagine being like stuck on. I want to be on an escalator when it stops,
Just
so I can be like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I can't.
What am
I
I
can't.
gonna do?
I don't know where to. I can't go up or down. Like, how do I get off the escalator?
I would literally be on the floor, fucking dying.
I would
after,
too.
in
Or you
tears.
try to like climb onto the thing, like to slide down. Oh god! Ah!
Help! Help! Help!
I would die. Help! 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 Help!
Fucking just dance it. Oh,
What do I do?
I would be down there like crying, holding my stomach.
And I wouldn't leave the same step that I was standing on. I'd stand on that one step.
fucking fire department would have to come get you on the fucking ladder.
They come get me like, no, stop, be careful, I'm scared. Hold me.
Oh
Stupid.
shit!
That
That
is
is
so
hilarious.
They're just stairs.
Anyway.
Okay, so anyway.
We let our imaginations get to us a little bit.
Yeah. In the garage, Hans Gruber and the rest of the team of terrorists exit from. Hold on now, they're not fucking terrorists. They even say that. Exit. Exit from the back of the courier truck. Hans seals the front door while Eddie puts on the guard's jacket and mans the desk. Tony Vareski makes his way to the telephone junction boxes and begins patching in to the system. He barely finishes patching in before his brother Carl uses a chainsaw to cut through all the phone cords to prevent any calls from leaving the building. I feel like there weren't enough phone lines through those pipes to put a phone in every office in that building.
Carl was like not even going to give him the time either. He was just fucking, I'm going to cut through them.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know enough about phone.
I guess, yeah. Whatever. Meanwhile, a barefoot John is making his fists with his toes and is surprised it is working to cure his jet lag. He calls Argyle, but is cut off by Carl's cutting the phone lines. Hans and some of his henchmen arrive via elevator to the Christmas party and begin firing up at the ceiling. Oh, I think that meant firing. It's supposed to say firing up. Firing at the ceiling to capture everyone's attention. John hears the gunshots and is able to sneak out of the office into the stairwell with his police-issued handgun. Ooh, police-issued. He nearly enters the 35th floor, but notices other henchmen wheeling equipment through the hallway. He continues up to floor 32, which is under construction, where he tries to gather his thoughts and think of a way to alert authorities. God damn, there's a lot to read here. My God. Does anybody want to read?
I don't care.
I'm going to send you the link, Karen, Crystal.
Why couldn't John put his shoes back on? Did I miss something?
Because there were gunshots. Like, he didn't have time to just slip them back on. He got out of there in a hurry.
I suppose.
He's waiting. He's watching the doorway, so he had time.
I'm sending you a link
make
to
the
this
move.
so you can just...
Take over.
You'll just have to find where we were.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Get better phone service, bro.
There it is. I would say it's your phone service because you're sending it to me.
No, because you're receiving it.
That's not how that works.
You're going to go down to, in the foyer, Hans informs the
I'm
Nakatomi
there.
Corporation. Okay.
That was fast.
In the foyer, Hans informs the Nakatomi Corporation employees that he is going to teach the company a lesson on the real use of power because their company has a legacy of greed. He calls out for Joe Takagi, but Holly tells Joe to stand back. He steps forward after Hans lists several detailed facts about his life. Hans greets him and the two take the elevator to floor 34. In the boardroom, Theo asks Takagi for the CEO daily key code and encryption number. Takagi insists that he doesn't have them, and even if he did, they couldn't steal any information that would hurt the company. Hans corrects him that they aren't after information, but the $640 million in bearer bonds in the company's vault. John McClane enters from the stairwell, and he overhears the interrogation of Takagi. Hans gives Takagi to the count of 3 to give him the codes, but he refuses. Hans shoots him in the head, orders Tony to dispose of the body, and Theo to begin hacking into the vault. John makes a noise as he escapes from the room, but the terrorists don't find him and dismiss the noise. In the garage, Argyle listens to loud music in the limo, talking to a girl on the phone. Henrik, Marco, and Yuli work in a room full of the building's heating and cooling machinery. They wire the room with what appears to be explosives. Theo and Hans walk to the vault while Theo explains the vault's 7 layers of security. He stresses that he can complete the first 6, but that the 7th lock, a completely electromagnetic system, cannot be cut locally. Hans guarantees that he has a plan. John curses at himself on floor 32 and suddenly comes up with a plan. Pull the fire alarm. Eddie informs Hans of the alarm, and Hans orders him to call 911 to disable the alarm and turn off the system. John celebrates the approaching fire trucks, but gets angry when they turn off their sirens and turn around. Tony enters the room, and John hides. He searches for John in the labyrinth of the construction, the fight, crashing through drywall and aluminum. Beams and stumble down a stairwell. Tony dies in the fall.
See, anybody notice that Tony looked like Jeffrey Dahmer?
A little bit, yeah. It's so funny because like they did good with casting the 2 brothers because they look like they could totally be brothers.
Yeah.
Like-
Did you guys notice Vigo,
Yeah, I did.
the Carpathian?
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, yeah.
In the vault, Theo bypasses the first level of security and begins using a drill to proceed the heist. John takes Tony's radio lighter and Heckler and cock MP5 machine gun. He then dresses up Tony's body on a chair in the elevator and sends it down to the Christmas party. Hans frightens the party by telling them that Mr. Takagi has been killed, but is interrupted by the arrival of Tony's body. He is angered by the message on Tony's sweatshirt. Now I have a machine gun, ho ho ho. Riding on top of the elevator, John listens to the terrorist and takes note on his arm. He rides the elevator to the top floor and sneaks out to the roof. Meanwhile, Hans tells Carl that Tony, and then it just says which enrages Carl. I'm assuming they were supposed to say Hans tells Carl that Tony's dead, which enrages Carl, and that he wants vengeance. Hans tells him that he'll get it, but after Heinrich and Theo finish their jobs. McClane arrives at the roof and uses the CV radio to call out on frequency 9, but is chided by the 911 operator. That was hilarious.
I already wrote it down. I wrote it down. No fucking shit, lady. Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
I think I wrote it down too. Yeah. I just sound like I'm ordering a pizza, yeah. But my absolute favorite line in this movie is the "come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs."
Get out, come out to the coast, get together, have a few laughs.
Yeah. He yells at her to send help, but Carl and others begin shooting at him, prompting him to evade. The operator decides to send a sole officer to investigate. Al Powell.
That's Carl. I'm sorry. That's Carl.
Sergeant Powell, I'm going to call him, because Al
That is
Powell
Carl.
is
That is
her.
Carl.
Oh,
I even wrote
nice.
that down. In comes America's greatest cop and dad, Carl.
Yeah, I said I love how they use Carl from Family Matters for the cop.
I wrote, how badass, throw a body out of the building to get Carl Winslow's attention.
Yeah.
I'm glad we just all referred to him as Carl Winslow. Because let's face it, he is the
He's
best.
Carl.
For sure.
He's the best on-screen dad of all time. in my
Well,
opinion.
see, here's what happened is, like, after the whole Die Hard thing, he moved and changed his name, and then he had to deal with Urkel for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. You should have.
Yeah, he should have just stayed with McClane.
Yep. At least you could have seen more action and stuff, you know. But
Yeah.
I even wrote down, I love Family Matters.
Sergeant Powell receives the call while buying Twinkies for his pregnant wife. On the roof, John evades the gunfire and makes his way into a dead-end closet with a large ventilation fan. He blocks the fan with his gun, climbs through, and evades the terrorist back to floor 35. Still pursued, he is cornered in the elevator shaft and must climb down the ventilation shaft to floor 34. He uses his machine gun and its strap to climb down the ventilation shaft, but the strap slips free from the gun and he falls a couple of floors. He manages to catch himself on a ledge and climb into a horizontal vent. He uses the lighter to see into the vent, but Carl sees the light and follows him into floor 31. Carl shoots at the ducts and begins pressing them, checking for body weight, but is called away before he finds John.
Come out to the coast, have you laugh.
That is absolutely my favorite line in the whole movie. McClane exits the shaft and watches as Al enters the building and is fooled by Eddie disguised as a security guard. John attempts to break the window with a chair but is spotted from the roof by James. He radios Marco and Heinrich and they ran to stop him. Marco appears to surrender, but John shoots Heinrich when he runs in. Marco then taps John under the conference table by standing on top and shooting toward the ground. At the end of the table, John reloads his weapon and shoots Marco through the table, killing him. He sees Al leaving the building and throws Marco's body on his car to alert him that there is trouble. The terrorists open fire on Al's car and he calls for backup and manages to drive in reverse over a retaining wall. He is jostled.
To the party.
Welcome to the party, pal.
He is jostled but able to walk out of the car. In a news equipment room, journalist Richard Thornburg overhears the call for help on a police scanner. He argues with a news producer and insults a news host seconds before he goes on the air and is given a truck to investigate the story. As police arrive at Nakatomi Plaza, John harasses Hans over the radio. Hans insults him for watching too many cowboy shows on TV, but John takes it as a compliment, insisting he likes Roy Rogers. He then signs off by saying, "Yippee-ki-yay,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
Yeah, there you go. Hans gets a status report from his men and learns that Theo is making good progress on the vault, but that Heinrich's bag of detonators has been taken by John. He orders Fritz to retrieve the detonators. Al radios John, who briefly explains what is happening. Deputy Police Chief Dwayne T. Robinson arrives, insults Al, and takes command. Hans, who is... Huh?
I say
Oh, I thought you said something. Hans, who has
It's your
chosen
voices.
Hans, who has chosen Holly's office as a command post, is approached by Holly, who makes two simple demands: a couch for Ginny and that the terrorists let the hostages use the bathroom. She makes sure to use Gennaro so that she can't be leaked to John. Argyle turns on the TV in the limo and notices that the building he is in is under siege. He looks for an exit from the garage, but finds himself trapped. He turns on his CV radio to overhear John and Al's conversation. The police set up spotlights and send a 4-man SWAT team to enter the building, which was kind of stupid. Why only 4 dudes?
I think they were trying to get in there a little more unnoticed because of the hostages.
I guess. But
That would make more
It
sense than just
seems-
sending in like a whole fucking SWAT team.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, because if you do that, you're gonna put them in distress and they're gonna start executing hostages.
just seemed so like not enough. I don't know. It was just weird. I get it. That makes sense. But they are Rivers, Rodriguez, and 2 unidentified SWATs. I don't know why we needed to know their names, really. John is recommended by Al to sit tight, but he knows the terrorists have extremely heavy artillery. Yuli and Eddie fire at the team as they try to break in the front door, so the police department sends in an RV to rescue the men and break into the front entrance. Hans orders James and Alexander to take down the tank with a rocket launcher. He then orders them to hit it with another rocket, upsetting John enough to throw some C4 down the elevator shaft.
Dude, that shit.
Some C4.
Yeah,
they
it was
say.
a whole brick of C4.
Yeah.
It was like a whole fucking like.
I like how he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, he just starts shoving shit in, like fuses in there, and drops that bitch down the elevator shaft. Like
And
it's
even us-
not gonna bottom this fucking building.
Even
Right.
us laymen's are watching, going, ooh.
Yeah, like, dude, that's a lot of C4, man.
Wait.
Maybe you should think about how much C4 you're throwing down that, because honestly, it should have leveled that building.
Oh, yeah.
It should have leveled the building.
Oh, for sure.
There's no way that building's gonna take a hit like that and still be standing.
Well, and that flame ball that came up through the shaft, like, as cool as it looked, it would have taken him out. Like, there's no way that, it would.
No, I mean, honestly, throwing that C4 down the shaft, that would have leveled the building and killed everybody in it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to
that
run
was
away
definitely the
from
most
that.
unrealistic part of this movie. I'm like, that C4 would have leveled that building.
Yeah, that much of it for sure. Blowing up the entire second floor and killing James and Alexander. Just the second floor. That's all.
Yeah, right.
The police in Thornburg look on in amazement. Deputy Robinson takes the radio from Al, but John insults him and informs him that he will only speak with Al. Back in the foyer, Harry is getting antsy, so he snorts more cocaine and gets up to talk to Hans. He tells Hans that he can get John to cooperate. He gives Hans John's name and occupation and uses Hans' radio to talk to John. Thornburg sends an assistant to look up McLean's information while Harry tries to convince John to give over the detonators. Harry pretends that he is John's good friend, but he doesn't recognize that Hans plans to kill him if John doesn't cooperate. John struggles to barter with Hans to spare Harry, but Harry sticks to pretending. John refuses to respond to Harry's friendly request to give back the detonators, so Hans fatally shoots Harry. Everyone inside and outside the building is shocked. Robinson dismisses Al to go home, but he refuses to leave until the situation is resolved. Robinson believes Harry would still be alive if John turned himself
In. Or over.
but he wanted the detonators. That's what he was telling him he wanted,
Right.
not John. Not yet.
He's just some fucking loser cokehead, man.
Yeah.
He's a douche.
Anyway, but John radios back with his own opinion on the matter. Hans finally addresses the police and begins to list the names of fellow freedom fighters he wants released from prisons around the world. He also orders a helicopter to take him and the hostages to the airport. John and Al don't buy the story and realize that something else is afoot. Special Agent Johnson & Johnson arrive from the FBI and take over control.
Johnson and
Twins.
Johnson.
The Johnson twins.
Yeah.
Which I found out was supposed
No
to be...
relation.
It was supposed to be some in joke for Carl Winslow, but they didn't tell what the in joke was, so why even tell us?
Right.
Like,
Was Carl was he like in some Johnson and Johnson commercials or
I don't know.
I don't understand.
But since I had to know,
I feel like I saw him in a Johnson & Johnson commercial.
since I had to know that it was an in joke, but not know the joke, I had to tell you guys because it was bugging me. So it has to bug you too.
Great. No, I'm not.
Now it has to bug all of you as well.
I didn't even listen to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did. Hans inspects the explosives in the mechanical room and is cornered by John. He decides to pretend to be an escaped hostage, and John believes it. On floor 33, John gives him a handgun, which Hans pulls on him instantly. John tries to get him to reveal his plan, but Hans pulls the trigger rather than spoiling his plot. The gun was never loaded, but before John can arrest or shoot Hans, the elevator arrives with Carl, Franco, and Fritz. John manages to shoot Fritz and Franco, but runs out of bullets. Hans, knowing John is barefoot, has Carl shoot the glass walls of the office John is trapped in. They use a flash grenade, but John has vanished by the time the smoke is cleared. However, he was forced to leave the bag with the detonators. Hans gives Yuli the detonators, and Carl smashes some decorations at the Christmas party. Holly...
Why was Carl given... This kind of got to me a little bit. When Hans picked up the bag of detonators, Carl looked back at him with like such an intensity look. It was like, why was the intensity look there?
I didn't notice.
You know, when like Hans picked up the bag of the detonators and they were sitting there talking, like Carl just looks back at Hans like with this like really intense.
Maybe he's really mad that they haven't caught him yet, because that's the dude who killed his brother. He still still wants his vengeance. I don't know. I didn't notice it.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
It bugged me a little bit.
Holly celebrates his anger, taking it as a sign that John is still alive. John slinks into a bathroom with bloody feet, which he begins to clean and bandage. Theo informs Hans that he has broken through the first 6 levels of the vault security and that he is ready for Hans to disengage the final electromagnetic lock. Thornburg's assistant brings good news to Thornburg, telling him that she knows John McClane's records and his LA address. As Al tries to keep an injured John company over the radio, Theo and Hans realize that the FBI is planning on cutting the power to the building. Theo smiles, realizing that the electromagnetic lock will disengage when the power is cut. Special Agent Johnson instructs a power company worker to turn off the power for a 10-block radius around Nakatomi. The FBI celebrates. Robinson worries that the mayor will be upset about the cut power. Al complains about the FBI's predictable behavior, and Hans and Theo celebrate as the vault opens. John asks Al and his wife to tell his wife goodbye should anything happen to him, but Al tells him to pull through it. Thornburg arrives at Holly's house and threatens Paulina to let him talk to the children. John waddles back to the machinery room and finds the large amount of C4 wired to blow up the roof. He radios Al, but is caught by Carl. Carl takes John's radio and gun, but John throws a punch and the two begin to fist fight. John throws a punch. Agreeing. What? I don't know who wrote this, but it's like they
skipped a whole bunch.
No, it's like they miss paragraphs sometimes. Because it says John throws a punch and the two begin to fist fight, agreeing that it is personal for both of them.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Personal. It's just weirdly worded. Agreeing that it is personal for both of them to both of them. Oh no, just for both of them. Sorry, Hans.
Is it personal for you, Karen?
No, it's like my eyes are going buggy because I'm reading this, and
I know I should have printed them off. Honestly,
yeah, it might have been.
I thought about it.
It's hard to read it after a while.
Yeah.
All right.
After he finishes paragraph, I'll take over.
Okay. Hans watches a small TV and recognizes the children. Thornburg is interviewing. He then picks up the face-down family photo of McClane's and approaches Holly. He fires the gun into the air, orders all the hostages to the roof, and takes Holly with him to the vault. She chastises him for being nothing but a crook when she realizes he's simply robbing the vault. Carl holds the upper hand of the fight, but John manages to get in some good hits. Carl is able to get his hands on a gun, fires, and grazes John's shoulder as he escapes through a doorway. Carl follows, but John gets the upper hand, knocking the gun free. The two continue to wrestle and throw punches up a staircase until John wraps some chains around Carl's neck.
Judy chop. Did you guys see that? Carl tried to Judy chop.
I didn't see that
John
either.
on the escalator. He was like,
You mean the stairs?
yeah, the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs. Pushing him over the railing, he then pulls the other end of the chain along a track, causing Carl's hanging body to zip across the room and slam into a wall. Carl hangs from the chain. I can keep going if you want.
There's not much. Well, yeah, there's not much left. I can get it.
Okay. You good?
Get it out of your system.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
2 Army helicopters approach Nakatomi Plaza. Special Agent Johnson and Agent Johnson ride in one of them, commenting that they plan on ambushing the terrorists and that they would be happy with a 25% hostage loss rate. Yuli, is it Yuli?
I think it's Yuli. That's how I've been saying it.
Yuli and Eddie usher all the hostages to the roof.
I think that's how I heard them saying it was Yuli. I'm pretty sure.
No. Usher all the hostages to the roof, and John shoots Yuli as he chases the hostages, searching for Holly. Jeannie tells John that Holly is with Hans, trying to warn the helicopter not to land and to get the hostages away from the explosives. John begins firing Yuli's machine gun in the air. The hostages run back down into the building, but the FBI in the helicopter or in the chopper, get to the chopper. Sorry, I had to. Begins firing at John. He manages to make it to a slightly hidden edge and uses a fire hose to rappel down the building as he jumps. Eddie informs Hans that the hostages have returned to the 30th floor in a panic, so Hans pushes the trigger for the explosives. The explosion engulfs the FBI helicopter, killing both Agent Johnson's. Both Agent Johnson's. Okay. And everyone on board. The fire. Yeah, okay. The fire hose reel snaps from the wall and follows John off the roof. He manages to shoot through a window and land before it falls. After it passes his floor, the weight of the reel starts to pull him out of the window. He managed to untie the hose in time. Of course he does.
See,
it's a fucking action movie.
My question is, like, how much weight is that actually?
Like, to be able to pull him like that? The reel? I was kind of wondering, saying, like, it doesn't seem heavy enough to just yank him down.
Yeah, like, pull him like that.
Right, like, maybe give him a tug.
It depends on how much it weighs and the fact that it's falling.
Yeah, but it's falling. I see it giving him a tug, but, like,
not
to consistently pull him away, yeah.
Like an anchor pulling.
Right.
Like,
Well, it depends on if
it couldn't be any more than 50
is that
pounds.
thing solid metal?
I doubt it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
right.
that's what
sure
I'm
it's
saying.
probably just aluminum.
I would say it's aluminum, or maybe even stainless steel, but either way, it's not that heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the ones like at the schools, those things are solid fucking metal
Right.
through and through.
Yeah, but they're not.
But
like,
I don't know.
heavy enough to
That
pull
being
a
a
human.
newer building back in the
Right.
in the 80s, who knows? It could be aluminum.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, you're right though, Eric. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it pulling somebody down.
I don't
Well,
know.
it's got to be a little more dramatic, you know.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course,
just
yeah.
because he just jumped off a building and had to shoot a window out and jump in, that's not enough. We have to see him almost die again.
Right.
I mean, it's Die Hard, not almost die once.
Not almost die once.
They never died.
That would make a good movie title though.
Almost died.
Instead of Die Hard,
once.
almost died once.
I almost died once.
The helicopter falls and explodes on the 30th and surrounding floors, setting the foyer on fire. So you're telling me okay, so C4 was dropped to the second floor, didn't obliterate the building. There was an explosion on top of the building. A bunch of C4 exploded on top of this building. And then a helicopter exploded into the building. And this building is still standing. We need the name of this architect. Because that motherfucker has built the most sound fucking building known to man.
I could say something, but it'd be terrible.
I'm probably thinking the same thing, but we would be wrong. Cause
It would be very
No,
wrong.
well, also it would be wrong anyway because shit melted.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm?
yeah, we are thinking the same thing.
Yep.
What are you talking about?
Can't say it. We'll
We'll
get
say it later.
canceled.
We'll get canceled?
Mhm.
It's not racist, is it?
No.
Okay, good. We don't need that shit.
No. I mean, I'm sure some of our followers and listeners are probably going to think the same thing with me.
I don't even know what you're thinking, so.
You'll
Well, my brain's half dead, so. All right, so John follows his wife's screams to the vault, where Hans is in a hurry to finish loading all the bearer bonds. Along the way, he notices a mail cart with tape and other supplies and discovers he only has 2 bullets left. In the garage, Argyle notices Theo unloading an ambulance from the back of the courier truck, which is wild. The fact that they were able to fit an ambulance. Oh, I guess.
I mean,
it was a small
they
van.
really did think this through.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean that.
There was
that-
a
the
well thought out.
planning
There was a
for
very
this
like
was
if John
amazing.
McClane wasn't there, they would have gotten away with all of this.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Like
Yeah.
the calling and saying, "I want all these freedom fighters like let out." Like
But the problem is though, he would
chef's kiss.
have never had to do that in the first place. Because the FBI and all them would have never shown up without.
No, remember he said this was always part of the plan. It's just happening earlier than we anticipated.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Where did I find? Okay, in the garage, Argyle notices Theo unloading an ambulance from the back of the courier truck. He rams the ambulance with his limo, then rushes to the car and punches out the. I'm glad Argyle got some play, man. Poor
Yeah.
guy's just been sitting in the limo the whole movie.
Talk
Finally
over
gets to
there.
run, and he just went out on a hunch too. He's like, that guy looks suspicious.
Yeah.
You know, like I know some shit's going down, but that guy looks like he's in some shit. I'm
And
gonna ram him with my limo.
you know what is strange to me? Like when you first see Argyle, like he looked, I don't know, old enough to be driving a limo. But like as soon as he took off his limo hat, I'm like, is he 9?
You're right. He looked like a baby, man.
Yeah.
He looked like a baby. As Christoph runs a stock of bonds down the hallway, John knocks him out. He slowly walks down the hallway toward Hans, Eddie, and Holly. Hans holds a gun to Holly's head and orders John to drop his weapon. Eddie picks up another machine gun, but Hans instructs him not to shoot. Hans mocks John for being a cowboy and points the gun toward him. John holds his hands behind his head and starts laughing, and Hans and Eddie join in, knowing his situation is futile. Futile. What a good choice of word. What a good choice of word. Stupid. At the moment, John grabs his handgun, which is taped to his back, fires one shot at Eddie, killing him, and another at Hans, hitting him in the shoulder. Hans falls out the window, but manages to hold on to Holly's new Rolex, the fucking Rolex, coming back into play.
Oh, you knew it was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as they said Rolex.
Yeah. Look at that new Rolex she's got, though.
Fuck
Hans
Rolex.
slowly aims his gun at Holly, but John manages to unclasp the watch, ending Hans plummeting, sending Hans plummeting to the ground. Could you, like, his O face, man?
Okay, like
That oh shit face, like, oh fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and I even wrote it down, like, because the part where he's like got a grip, and then like the part where he begins to fall, he's like, oh fuck. That face. You know what face? You know what face I'm talking about.
when something like that would
I know you got
it's gonna
trivia
go
on his fall,
slow-
right?
Slow motion.
Okay, cool. Because
But
I
I
want to hear
thought
some shit.
everybody knew it already.
I might already. I don't know.
Okay.
Going down slowly like that, like that's going to happen in slow motion to you when you know you're about to die.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like that whole fall down, you're gonna feel every millisecond of that. Like, yeah,
You had thought process.
I don't
If I'm going
think
to die, they're
about
dying
that.
with me.
the falling.
back.
It would be fun until you're dead.
Yeah.
But at least it's an instant death.
What if it isn't though? There's been people that have.
Well, that's a pretty long. Like from that height,
Yeah,
that's
that
definitely
height,
an empty,
yeah, you're definitely-
instant death.
That's just like squish.
But like from like
Hit the ground.
4 or 5 stories up, like that's not. That's just
Painful.
painful. Yeah.
Pain. Lots and
Okay.
lots and lots of pain.
Okay, so in the rubble outside, John meets Al, and they both hug and thank each other. Okay, they didn't just hug, dude. They fucking embraced.
Yeah.
There was a moment of love between the two of them. They looked at each other like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna suck your dick. Yeah, that's what they were
I'm
thinking.
gonna diddle your pooter.
I'm gonna diddle your pooper shoot. Anyway. Robinson approaches and chews out McClane for the damage of the building. A not quite dead Carl arises to screams.
Two
And
screams.
two screams, that's what it says. Two screams.
I know.
Yeah.
And
I'm following
aims a
along.
gun at John and Holly. Everyone falls to the ground by Al, who fires his sidearm, killing Carl. Argyle rams his limo through the garage gate, and John and Holly walk toward his limo. On the way, they are stopped by Thornburg for an interview. Holly punches him in the face because he fucking deserves it. He's a
Right.
douche. And the couple continues to the limo, kissing as Argyle drives away from a damaged and burning Nagatomi Plaza. The end.
Yeah,
So-
speaking of Thornburg, I wrote down Dickless sucks no matter what movie he's in.
Yeah, Real
I'll
Genius.
call the INS. Of
Yeah,
course,
Real-
it was him that fucking gets Holly hemmed up.
Yeah, he was in Real Genius. He was a fuckbag in that too.
Well, back
It's
to
always a
when
fuckbag.
Al shoots Carl. You know, like during that whole, his Carl, or I'm gonna keep calling him Carl, but
Carl.
Keep calling him Carl.
Al,
No, because there's a Carl in the movie
Yeah,
I
who's,
know.
who's
I
a
know
bad
Carls.
guy.
But Al's like
There's
holding,
good Carl and
holding
there's bad
the gun
Carl.
after he shoots him. You know he's going through a whole lot of thoughts in his mind, especially after he had told that story to John about how he killed a kid. The last time
Which
he
I
pulled
thought
his
was
gun.
kind of unnecessary. I mean, I get that it drove it home a little bit, but I would think like something a little lighthearted than that, for what was going on here. The fact that he shot a kid, I'm like, no, I don't see it in his character. You know what I mean? Like it's something that like I felt like I understand
thought
what
it was
he's there.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. I felt like it should have been something a little less dramatic. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought it was completely unnecessary.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
okay.
His
kinda
I think the
showed-
conversation was okay because
Yeah.
it helped them bond a little more.
Yeah,
But it's kind of weird because there's that weird disconnect between the two of them because they're not physically there together. You know
I
what
think
mean?
it also showed too, like he had that hesitation of pulling his gun, and that might have been a reason why he hesitated.
There was no hesitation though.
Not at the end, no.
Well, I'm saying there was obviously no hesitation with pulling his gun on the child that he killed initially.
No, he's talking about like how
How
there was
from
a,
that trauma from shooting the kid made him hesitate to pull the gun on Carl.
I gotcha.
but I don't
so-
remember seeing a
There
hesitation.
was no hesitation. He
that
just
was
shot
that,
him.
that
I
was
thought it was a
no, that was
hesitation.
that was
That was definitely his redemption
that was the arc.
That was his
Yeah.
redemption.
That was supposed to be
arc,
the
yeah.
arc that we got from that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So whenever Gruber played the hostage was amazing. So he like because
Yeah.
if you notice like he had this certain like, like slick back hair, this like kind of look, but then like as soon as like John comes out, like he falls and like John comes out and he's like, hey, and he's got like his hair is like to his front, he looks a little more disheveled, I guess, and like that, like that's where you can see his character shift, and I really like that. And then the way he plays it. And plays it up, and then in like that whole scene between the two of them in the hallway, like with the smoke and everything, fucking gold, man.
Completely
Like,
ad-lib.
like Alan Rich, really? What's his name? Alan
Alan Rickman.
Rickman. Yeah, dude, that dude is a fucking baller,
He
man.
does a great job.
I love
with
him.
Most of the stuff he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a baller, dude.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Let's see here. There's a lot of lens flares in this, like J.J. Abrams directed it.
Well, I mean, I would say a lot for the 80s, but not a lot for J.J. Abrams. I mean,
Right, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though. Like
but
some
they were
scenes,
appropriate. Like
they
you would
looked
notice
good.
it.
That's why I liked them.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh man, I
yeah.
love the lens flares.
Yeah,
So like, because there was a couple of them, I was like, oh, that's a good shot. I like that.
I noticed it because, like, I noticed it in like Terminator 2, but they're like appropriate. You know what I mean? Like you see them in appropriate ways.
J.J. Abrams, not James Cameron.
No, I'm saying that I've seen lens flares in other
Oh.
movies. Like
Yeah.
the first time I remember
Yeah, but
seeing it was in like
these
Terminator
lens flares
2.
reminded me of J.J. Abrams. Like they were
The
very
brightness.
Yeah, the brightness, how they kind of flare across the screen. Either J.J. Abrams or like some old school Michael Bay shit. You know what I mean? Like
It could be the way it was remastered too.
maybe they added
because
them in.
I mean I don't remember. Like in VHS or whatever. I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah.
of course, I don't know.
I guess
But, yeah.
on VHS, because of the low resolution, you probably wouldn't notice it as much.
Right.
So yeah,
It could be part of the remaster.
yeah, it could be.
I was a little disappointed that the Fratelli brother didn't sing.
Didn't what?
Sing.
Didn't sing.
He didn't sing.
Oh yeah. He was a douche.
Yeah, they both were.
Yeah.
I did like though that they walked up and they said their name, and then the black dude was like, not related.
Not really.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That's why I said the Johnson twins.
Yeah.
All right. I say we get into reviewing this motherfucker.
Let's do this.
This mother trucker.
Let's rock out this bitch.
Okay.
Should we start with Madison?
Yeah, go right ahead.
We got.
I think you guys probably didn't notice.
Yeah, you didn't notice, but there's nobody here today. Right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just making sure nobody was there. So we are going to call. She's at her mom's this week. She'll be here next week, though. We're going to call her and get her review real fast. So hopefully she answers within the first call, because I pay her phone bill, but she doesn't always answer for me.
Yeah, that's kids for you. It's like, fuck, it's my dad.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not answering.
I'm not gonna do this.
I'm doing it.
No one's
I don't want to do it, Dad. She's just not going to answer then. That's cool. Oh.
Well,
Hey.
Okay.
We need your review. We're on.
I have it.
You have it?
I do.
Can you go into a quiet room and do it?
Yeah, I can. Amelia, stop. Sorry.
What's quiet?
Okay.
there's no
All right.
quiet in my house.
So we're getting into the review part. Madison, give us your review of Die Hard from 1988.
Okay. I love that it like starts off with all the regular problems and everything that they like. It's just him and his wife, and they have like their regular problems that people like them would have, like living in different cities and everything.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and then people just start dying, and then it's like the pattern throughout the beginning until everything like actually goes wrong and everybody's being held captive and everything. And then okay, so and people are just having a good time, and then the bad guys do bad guy stuff, and then it goes downhill. and then I really like the music too. Just like it feels like all the music is right for like in the right times. It's dramatic whenever it needs to be and stuff.
Okay.
And then the guy is like super lucky. Like if I was in that situation, I probably would have died like a million times over. But this guy is like he's got luck on his side, but he makes it cool.
It's because it's John McClane.
Yeah, right.
Motherfucking Bruce
And then it
Willis.
says, and not to mention the guy, like John McClane's humor is just it's it's funny because he's so sarcastic about everything. And sarcasm
Come
is
out to
big,
the
right?
coast, have a few laughs.
Yeah. And then it's mushy whenever it needs to be too.
Mostly between him and Al, the other, and the cop. No, the cop.
Yeah, definitely them. But like those mushy moments, they pull the heartstrings. Okay, so I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, man.
Yeah, that's coming.
I like that movie.
That's a lot from someone who doesn't really like action movies that much.
I
Yeah.
don't. I hate action movies,
It's
which
decent.
is weird because I don't really like romance movies either.
It's because romance movies are for the birds.
Yeah, well, exactly. So,
All right.
and everything.
Well, I'm letting them all know that you'll be here next week. So
I will.
So
Let me know what we're doing next week.
I will, and make sure you tell everybody. Say
I
bye.
will tell everyone.
No, I mean tell everybody bye.
Oh, tell it. Bye.
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 No. Well, we got to get back to our reviews, Madison.
Oh, well, duh. Yeah.
All right.
Well, bye. Love
Bye.
you.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right, Madison's review. All right, Eric, give us your review.
All right, so my pros on it. I like the dialogue, the score, acting, the one-liners. I mean, obviously, with Die Hard, you've got to have the one-liners.
Right.
This nostalgia, the blood effects. I mean, they had some good blood effects in there, I thought.
They did, yeah. I thought
You know,
so.
the
They were more real.
splatter.
I thought they were kind of realistic.
Yeah. Cons, I really didn't have too much. I'd say the look Carl gave Hans was a little too much. The intensity look, which you guys didn't notice, but I did. I caught it, and it was like, eh.
If it sticks out to you, it sticks out to
It
you.
does.
I mean,
It's
you
like,
know.
why was that necessary? And you'd think he would try on every guy's shoes that he killed. But he only tried on the very
Yeah,
first
you're
guys.
right. You're
the very
right.
first guy,
That's
he's
a
like,
good
well,
point.
why is it the only guy that killed?
And he definitely had bigger feet than Bruce Willis.
Oh,
you know he
definitely.
did.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was huge.
He's like, the one guy I killed has got small ass feet. You
Yeah,
know?
no, he said smaller
just
feet
hit-
than my wife.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
sister.
Oh, sister,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So
They just
I
had to keep
gave
him
it-
barefoot.
I gave it an 8.5 out of 10 for a Christmas movie.
For a Christmas movie.
It was.
Oh.
I'm sorry, it's a Christmas movie.
We have to agree on that. It's not Christmas
I know
until you
Bruce-
see Hans Gruber.
I know
fall
Bruce
from
Willis
Nakatomi
says it
Plaza.
wasn't a Christmas movie, but this is a Christmas movie for people.
This is a
It's
Christmas.
got Christmas music in it. It's Christmassy.
the
themed.
definition of a Christmas movie is it being Christmas integral to the plot? Like,
And it
without it
is.
being Christmas, can the plot happen? And the answer in this movie
Yes.
is no.
Well, it's
No.
No,
because
because
of the Christmas. That's what I'm saying. Because of the Christmas party.
Because of the Christmas
Well,
party.
it's
Yeah.
a Christmas
If
party.
it wasn't for the
I think I
Christmas
misunderstood
party,
the
and
question.
if it wasn't for it being Christmas, John wouldn't be there.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
So, yes,
it
it
is
being
a
Christmas
movie.
is integral to the plot for this movie. So it's a
The only
Christmas
thing it's
movie.
missing to not be a Christmas movie is Santa Claus.
No, it has Santa. He came down the elevator. He was killed. He has a hat.
What? Talking about the
He put the Santa hat
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Oh, the ho ho ho.
ho ho ho. I got a machine gun now. Ho
Yeah.
ho ho.
It's terrible.
He came
Uh,
down the shaft.
All right, Karen. What are your thoughts? Your review?
Much of the same, I suppose. It's got great one-liners. It's part of that whole. Well, actually, it started a whole genre of action movies of its own.
Have you ever seen that movie, Game Over, with the guys from Workaholics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally a Die Hard.
Yeah, they totally ripped Die
There's
Hard
so
off
many
that.
Die Hard movies, though, and I'm not just talking about Die Hard sequels. Like, you can talk about a lot of. I actually have some of them in trivia. I'm pretty sure, but like so many of the movies after this followed this formula. Like, so
Put
it
it in a-
spawned.
One place, give them one hero against
Yeah.
all odds.
Yep. It
Under
spawned-
Siege 2,
Spawned
is
an
one of them,
entire.
yeah.
Spawned an entire.
subgenre.
Subgenre
Yeah.
of action movies itself. And it certainly spawned Bruce Willis's career.
Oh, for
So-
sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he lit up after this.
Yeah. The acting, I don't think there's really anyone that did a terrible job. The only thing I didn't, if I have any cons at all, was the German. Like, when they would speak German, it sounded like gibberish. Didn't sound like German.
Kind of like if I try to speak German.
And then it sounded like kids trying to speak like they're speaking German. And then when Hans Gruber would be German, he didn't sound German. He didn't sound like he had a German accent.
Yeah, it didn't really sound
And when he
like it.
did sound like he had a German accent, it was for like 2 seconds and it would fade in and out. He didn't.
He definitely just sounded like he had an English accent.
He sounded like an Englishman trying to sound German.
Yeah.
It didn't. He didn't. That would be the cons for me. Was the German aspect of the bad guys was really done awfully, but it spurned a whole thing on its own. So for that, I got to give it an 8. I mean, it did a lot for action movies, and it really is a good movie. I mean, it's a great movie.
Yeah. I think with me, I'm going to come in and say that I think there's a lot of good things to love about this movie. But I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say it's not the best one of the franchise. It is not the best one.
I don't know that because I've only seen this one and was the one with Justin Long.
Oh, Die Hard, Live Free, Die Hard.
Yeah. Oh,
Or,
and
no,
I
no.
did see the one with the.
Samuel L. Jackson.
I did see that one, but
That's
I've
Die
seen,
Hard with Vengeance.
I've seen it so long ago, I don't even remember it, so I can't.
So you haven't even seen 2? So there's 5 of them all together. Okay.
I'll be right back.
We got a pee?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Look at this guy.
I have not. I've
This
not
guy.
seen.
We're gonna go ahead and talk about the other movies. Yeah. While this
I've
guy
not
goes and takes a
seen.
piss.
I've not seen any of them, but the first one, Justin Long and Samuel L. Jackson. But I wouldn't consider that I've seen that one because it's been so long. I don't remember it.
They're all good in my opinion. If I had to,
I remember laughing a lot at the one with
yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson.
I think if I had to go in order of ones that I loved, oh man, I don't know. I think I'd have to rewatch them all first. But just going off of what I remember, 3 is my favorite. Him and Sam Jackson, it's the shit. Then probably 4, then 1, then 5, then 2. That's my personal opinion. Now, a lot of people's gonna be screaming at me like, "Oh!"
the one thing I'll
But they're
say,
all really good, so that's just me.
the one thing that I'll say that blows me away. Also, I forgot to mention this, but the whole plan that the bad guys had, like the detail in that planning. I don't think I've ever seen another level of detail like that.
I take that back. 3, 1, 4, 5, 2. Yeah.
Because the plot in this movie with that level of detail in their planning, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of amazing for an action movie.
Right.
Usually they don't put that much detail and planning in a plot.
I think
for an
2
action
takes
movie.
place in a. Where does it take place? Pretty sure it just takes place in an airport. And like his wife is on the same plane as that fucking reporter guy. Because the whole time he's like, I can't be within 500 feet. I've got a restraining order against her, blah, blah, blah. And the whole time they're on a plane. And I think he's meeting her at the airport or supposed to be meeting her at the airport or something. And shit goes down at the airport and he has to fuck up dudes in the airport. So, but it's a very thinly plotted movie. But
See,
it's still in the box, so if it gets drawn again, we will do Die Hard 2.
That's kind of disappointing to hear after such a strong plot. in the first
Exactly.
one.
So I don't know
That's
exactly
why
what it is all about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Die Hard 2 is in the box, and
Technically, they're all in there.
technically they are.
Yeah.
They're all in there, all 5 of them. We will review all 5 of them over time. I'll laugh if we pull it again. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Do it like right now.
So 2 is in there. But anyway, back to my point on 1. So there's a lot of things to love about this. Alan Rickman's the shit in this movie. He's one of my favorite all time favorite villains. Because I love his accent. I love the way he looks, the way he like presents himself. I love the whole part where he played one of the hostages. And he had no ulterior motives. He just wanted paid. There's nothing more than money involved. He just wanted money. And I'm good with that, you know? It doesn't have to be anything, too critical, Unlike in the third one, where the third one's actually about his brother comes back to avenge him.
Yeah.
So he wants to kill John McClane, which is a pretty cool plot, honestly. That's why it's called Die Hard with Vengeance.
Yeah.
Anyway, this movie's baller as shit. I love the one-liners. I love the setting. I love the cinematography's great. Sounds great. Carl's in this bitch, and fucking Family Matters is awesome. So he's like America's greatest dad because fuck Bill Cosby. But yeah, I think I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna give it an 8 too. I was gonna go 7.5, but I think 8 is appropriate.
That brings our aggregate to an 8.
Oh fuck! So what did everybody give it?
Eric Madison's 7.5, Eric's an 8.5, and you and I are both 8.
8s, yeah, so an 8 makes sense. I think it's pretty good though. I mean, it's definitely an 8 movie. You know, like it's not the greatest action movie, but it's a great action movie.
Mhm.
We didn't ask each other if we'd watch again.
I think that goes without saying. Though. I mean,
No, it's a terrible movie.
yeah, it goes without saying. Like if you haven't seen Die Hard, go watch Die Hard. Like it's just one of those action movies that whenever if you ever picked up a box set and the box set's name was greatest action movies ever, Die Hard's in that box set.
And if it's
like 20 best action movies of all time, Die Hard's in there.
It's definitely very influential for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
like that's the thing that kills me.
Yeah,
How
so it's
much
going to
it
be
was
in there with
copied
like
over and over again.
so Die Hard would be in there with the likes of like Terminator 2, fucking what are like the first John Wick, Rambo 1 and 2, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be in there with the likes of like all the best fucking action movies.
Arnold, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
you
like
know.
or like even some of like old school like Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, like
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like you're not, or I don't know if you consider Rocky an action movie. I guess not really.
It's more of a drama.
It's more of a
action.
drama.
It's a drama action.
Drama
movie.
sports, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, so there's that. Anyway, let's get into our Rotten Tomatoes thing. Have you been writing down the timestamps?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I've got it on text form to get ready to send it to you as soon as we get to
Okay.
trivia.
Cool.
We don't write timestamps for Rotten Tomatoes.
No, we don't. I was just wondering if you've been writing them. Okay, Rotten Tomatoes. Where are you, fuckface? Yes, I talked to my phone in a very rude manner.
Phone do to you.
It doesn't want
Well, it's
to
a piece of shit for one. Hold on, I want to see something real quick. What's this? Ew.
Uh-oh.
So that new Transformers movie's only got a 57%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking about going driving and watching it.
I heard it's not bad though. I mean,
Well, I always watched the old the
I hate the
Beast
Transformers
Wars and
movies.
stuff.
Yeah,
like
those
that.
are awesome, but the movies suck.
I like the first one. Although I haven't seen it in a really long time.
What is going on here?
Michael Bay.
Makes things explode.
Should pay Avatar. Michael Bay should have directed Avatar.
Oh yeah, that would have went real well.
Okay,
Big ass explosion.
You know-
blew up a tree.
You know how that would work out? There wouldn't be 2 now, and there wouldn't be a 3rd one coming out.
Yeah, because he likes to-
All right. Give me Eric. What do you
Shit.
think?
For critics,
Critics, man, critics.
I'm probably going to say probably 65 for critics.
I was thinking 73.
73, 65. Karen's gonna take this, but not because she's close. It is 94%
Really, from the critics?
from the critics. 94%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be like lowballed.
They
as
usually don't
shit.
like beefcake.
Yeah,
Beefcake.
Beefcake action movies.
It depends. I think it depends on the taste, and like I think with
Like
this,
newer
like,
ones with
okay,
like
I might
the
take that back. It
you know
being the
Marvels and all
first-
that. Yes, but
First Die Hard movie.
Yeah.
I could see it. I could see it.
like I can see them
Right.
critiquing of like future Die Hard movies a lot harder,
Yeah.
but for it being the first and of its time,
And like
and
she said,
the first of its sort of subgenre.
Yeah, like she said.
Yeah. All right. What do you guys think the audience score is?
oh,
90. Now I'll say 86.
I'm gonna say 91.
Karen's gonna take it. Is 94. Also 94.
They're both 94.
94%. So critics' consensus. It's many imitators and sequels have never come close to matching the taut thrills of the definitive holiday action classic. It's that holiday action classic. Let's see if we get. I don't know if we're gonna get too many bad reviews out of this, but I can
There's
tr-
always,
there's
a
always
few-
at
I
least
mean,
one.
I can try to find
At
one or
least
two.
one.
Let's see what we can do here.
They should have it like where you can like filter the 1 stars. And all
Yeah.
I know we've talked about that before. I wish they did.
These
Make
are all
it
like
so
4
much
and 5
easier.
stars.
It's not like Amazon where you can.
that, right?
I just want one good 1 star. Just give me one good
Nah.
1 star. Yeah, meh.
It's 4 episodes in.
Yippee ki motherfucker. Oh wow, I am seeing nothing but 5 stars. Nothing but 5
How many of them
stars.
just say "Yippee ki motherfucker"?
None of them.
Oh.
So this one says, "Rest in peace, Alan Rickman. I don't know why this movie works so well, but it just does." I agree.
hmm
I don't know why it works so well either, but it does. Okay, here's one. 1/2 star. Pointless, boring, and unfunny.
Well,
Whatever, fuckface. Oh, sorry. You're gonna love this.
Oh God.
This has got to be the same guy. I swear to God, it's the same guy. 1 star. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
Yes.
This is the same fucking guy. I swear to God, Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
You know what? I think that person probably goes to every movie
He
and
might,
does that.
dude.
I bet they do.
1 star. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
I bet if you go to the Mario Brothers, that's
hold
like the
on.
one that took it down a peg.
Oh my God. Okay, so he just does this with all movies.
That's what I'm saying.
The
I bet-
Whale. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
I'm telling
Everything,
you.
Everywhere, All at Once. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
I told you.
Reservoir Dogs. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
Told
Harry
you.
Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Paul Rudd was not in this movie. The Three Amigos. Even though he could be, I could totally see him in a Three Amigos
If
movie.
they remade it,
Yeah,
for sure, yeah.
Paul Rudd was not
You
in
know
this
who
movie.
this is? It's Paul Rudd. I could see him doing
Yeah.
that.
Oh my God, this is great.
You know, I know you're gay.
And these are recent too. Like the most recent one is March 17th of 2023. Ah, what's this guy's name? Daniel something.
It's Paul Rudd.
It is
It's-
Paul. It's totally
it
Paul
is.
Rudd. He's
Daniel
like,
Radcliffe.
He's going to hear. He's going to hear this podcast. He's going to be like, "Fuck,
they're on to me.
they're on me."
That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Paul Rudd was not in this movie.
Well, I gotta change my rating.
1 star. All right, Karen, let's do some trivia,
Yeah,
man.
let's do that.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
Okay, so the scene where Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman meet up was unrehearsed, completely ad-libbed, and
Like
they
even him
didn't-
cowering, like, oh my God.
well, they didn't meet ahead of time. That way, they had a greater feeling of spontaneity between the two actors.
Okay.
The fictional Nakatomi Plaza is the headquarters of 20th Century Fox Studios, so the studio could use one of its own buildings and didn't have to hold back on stunts and action sequences. While Jeb Studer was writing the screenplay, he did a tour of the building and immediately incorporated some of the locations and objects he found there into his script as set pieces, such as the cart that McClane and Carl end up riding during their flight. The company charged itself rent for the use of the then unfinished building. Some of the middle floors were occupied by legal and administrative departments, so only empty floors were used for filming. Still, the filming of the scenes that involved gunfire had to be postponed until after hours because some of the employees from the active floors started to complain about the noise.
Like the C4?
Yeah, that one was a little much. Admittedly,
Okay, it's getting a little rough up there. Come on, guys. We are still trying to work.
Admittedly, that one was a bit much. The costume.
Rumble on the feet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even understand why that would be an issue. Most of it would have been shot at night, wouldn't it have?
You'd think.
No, I guess
It was
not.
fake.
I was
The-
gonna say
the
not if
night-
it's inside. I guess they could.
The night was
black it
actually like
out.
a sheet. It was like a sheet with lights being
Shot through.
shot.
That's what I'm
through
saying.
by it.
Like I guess you could just make it look dark from the
Yeah.
inside.
It wasn't always night.
Yeah.
All right. The costume department had 17 undershirts in various stages of degradation on hand for Bruce Willis. In 2007, he donated one of them to the Smithsonian Museum. Here's the one that I've been dying to tell you guys about. Oh no, this isn't the one. Hart Bachner, this is the cokehead guy.
Yeah.
The line when he goes in there and says Hans Bubby was ad-libbed. Alan Rickman's quizzical reaction was genuine. In fact, much of the script was improvised due to the constant screenplay tweaks that were being made during filming. This movie was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry for the Library of Congress in 2017. Only a couple of the actors who played German terrorists were actually German, and only a couple more could speak broken German. The actors were cast for their menacing appearances rather than their nationality. 9 of the 12 were over 6 feet tall. Ironically, Bruce Willis, sneered at for being the all-American hero by the head German terrorist, is actually more German than most of the villains. Alan Rickman was English, and Alexander Godunov was Russian. Willis was born on March 19, 1955, in West Germany to an American father and a German mother.
I never knew that.
Neither
That's
did I.
Crazy. Yeah.
In the making of featurette, director John McTiernan revealed that a majority of the exterior shots of the building showing explosions were real, full-scale explosions set off in and around the building.
No wonder they were bothered by all the noise.
Right?
They're out there blowing shit up. I'm here trying to send reports and talk to clients.
Those were at night, I'm sure. But, I mean, I was getting a little pissed off about the dust on my desk, you know?
Every time that one of them explodes, here comes, like, a fucking, the roof is falling in here. Like, got panels falling down. Just tearing up the building.
Can you imagine? So they're like, it's still under construction. Can you imagine being like the guys working on it? Like, I just put up this fucking wall yesterday.
Hey, you guys tore it down.
Somebody's poster of the woman on the
yeah, that was literally somebody's poster.
Probably was.
I did like that about Bruce Willis though in the movie. Like he was a genuine like dude. You know what I mean? Like he's like, well, you know, like walking through the airport, he checks out that girl's ass. Like he's your every guy's guy. Like he's just a guy. And he looks at women. You know what I mean? Like
it wasn't supposed to be that way.
It was it because he's like, damn, you know, like I was like, it just goes to show that you know he might be a douche, but he's still a hero.
Bruce Willis's favorite role has always been John McClane. He observed in an interview that many of the real police officers he met with to help prepare for the role and who served as technical advisors on the film all had very dark, macabre sense of humor, which he tried to factor into his performance. Ironically, action hero characters are often criticized for joking around in films, even though, as Willis himself noted, telling jokes in such dire situations is not that uncommon. While making this film, cinematographer Jean Debont got trapped in an elevator. This later gave him the inspiration for the opening scene of Speed in 1994, which he directed. John McTiernan did not want the villains to be terrorists, considering that to be too mean. He chose to avoid the terrorist politics in favor of making them thieves in pursuit of monetary gain, believing it would make the film more suitable for summer entertainment.
Yeah, it was more of a thief heist movie where he intervenes than like a terrorist movie. Like the terrorist thing is just overdone and overplayed. Like, don't get me wrong, so is the thief thing.
Yeah.
But like it simplifies things. It makes you not have to think about it. Like, wait, so they're at war with this country and they're part of a terrorist organization. Like nobody cares.
Well, no,
man.
I really loved the fact that they weren't terrorists just because it played on it, you know, and everybody outside was like, terrorists.
Yeah, terrorists. But they're like, no, we're not terrorists. We're just here to steal your money.
We just want your fucking
money. We just
money.
want your money.
Yeah, like I love that.
Yeah, I think it's great. I guess it is cool that they played on that. But what I'm saying is they didn't get specific with it. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't like, oh, they're part of the terrorist organization known as this and against this and they fight for Iran or whatever. You know, like it's just unnecessary.
I love the part where he asked him about one of them that he said to be released, and he's like, I read about him.
I read about him in Time magazine or something like that or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So this actually was based on a book called Nothing Lasts Forever. And it's actually a lot more serious. And the book describes, it's not John McClane, it is Joseph Leland. And he was supposed to be like, you know, kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, big buff guy.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a lot more serious and more dramatic. Clint Eastwood originally owned the rights to the novel, Nothing Lasts Forever, on which the film is based, and planned to star in the film around the early 1980s, back when the film was going to be a direct adaptation of Roderick Thorpe's novel, Nothing Lasts Forever. Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, Burt Reynolds, and Paul Newman were considered for the lead role of Joseph Leland, who that eventually became John McClane. Eastwood was even interested in directing and starring in the film at one point, but backed out to make The Deadpool in 1988. So it's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have gotten Die Hard
the way it is.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman had been an accomplished TV and theater star, but had never been part of a film before. He nearly said no to the role. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Rickman had said, "I'm not doing an action movie." He also wanted to avoid being typecast as a villain. Agents convinced Rickman, who hadn't been in Hollywood for even a week, and the rest is history.
Hadn't even been in Hollywood for a week. Like, no, dude, this is a fucking opportunity. You need to jump on it. You're lucky that it's coming this fast.
Yeah, can you imagine having like that confidence to be like,
I mean, Alan Rickman didn't do a lot. Like, he didn't act in a lot. But what he did act in, you remember him for.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, like,
he was
like
always-
Professor Snape, you know, like, he's... I hate to say it, but, like, he is typecast as a villain. Like, even though he didn't want that, but, dude, you make a good villain. Like,
He
you make a
does.
great
He has
villain.
that look.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, Galaxy Quest. Yeah, he was in Galaxy Quest, which is also a great movie.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't. It was more of the... It was almost the comic relief in that movie. Because he was that, like,
Depressed.
whiny, you know, kind of guy, which...
oh, and he was
great because
he
he
was
was...
Metatron in Dogma.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
He was also the robot off of Hitchhiker's Galaxy. Wasn't he? No.
Yes, he was the
Yeah.
voice for that. Yes, he was.
So the depressed.
Yeah, the depressed robot. Yeah. Marvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marvin.
Marvin.
I love Alan Rickman.
I do too.
He's so great.
Was.
Sorry. Still is in my heart.
Yeah. So Bruce Willis really did ride on top of the elevator. That was a stunt he did himself.
Oh, God, how scary.
Couldn't have. Well, you couldn't pay me to do it.
I'd fucking do it.
How much at the top? Nope.
Like, wait, how much is space? Oh, okay, yeah, I can do it.
Fuck that. Although he does admit that every time he sees his character pull the glass shards out of his foot, it makes him squeamish. 20th Century Fox formally admitted that this film is a Christmas movie, after stating that it's the greatest Christmas story ever told, in a new trailer to mark the 30th anniversary of the film's release. However, the debate on whether it's a Christmas movie or not among fans continues to this day. Roger Ebert was one of the few critics to give this a negative review. The main reason he did this was because he hated the character Chief Dwayne Robinson. He said the character was unnecessary, useless, dumb, and he prevented the movie from working. He did like the sequels and later changed his opinion. I want to know how one character defines the whole movie for you.
Who?
Roger Ebert.
He didn't like the chief?
No, the fucking the guy that was he the chief? Deputy chief.
Yeah, the deputy.
Yeah, deputy
I
chief.
didn't
or
like
whatever.
the way Carl
Nobody liked him, but like that was his role. That was
Yeah.
he was
He
supposed
wasn't
to be
supposed to be.
unlikable.
He wasn't supposed to be likable.
I didn't like the way Carl looked at Han, so
He was supposed to be the red tape. Yeah, but it didn't make you hate the movie and like
Right.
give it a bad review.
Yeah, but Roger
not half
Roger
point.
Ebert is a fucking douche, and everybody knows it.
Was.
Like Siskel and Ebert, they were douchebags. So
Yeah. This film is unusual for action movies of the period in that the hero and the villain never get into a fistfight, emphasizing that this is a battle of wits between them. Bruce Willis was mainly known for playing a comedic role on Moonlighting in 1985 at the time. So when the first trailers for the film appeared in cinemas, audience laughed at him thinking it must be a comedy. For a brief time, Willis's face was even removed from the posters to prevent expectations of it being a comedy, hence the use of the Nakatomi building for the poster. Once the film came out and received a positive response, Willis's face was added back to the poster. When Ellis meets with Gruber, this is the one I've been dying to tell you guys. So when the cokehead guy meets with Gruber at first, and he thinks he's, not going to get killed and all that.
buddies.
Yeah. Carl can be seen pouring Ellis a glass of Coca-Cola. This is most likely because Ellis, who had been snorting cocaine throughout the film, asked them if they had any Coke, which they mistook as him mentioning the soda.
makes sense.
That's funny.
You guys got any Coke? Yeah, let me get you a Coke.
I didn't even notice that.
I did. I noticed.
saw him
I
pouring-
put the two together.
Well, I
I'm like,
saw him
never-
pouring
I
the
never got
drink.
I put the two together. I'm like, Coke for a guy who snorted a bunch of Coke.
I saw him pouring the drink, and I thought, why is he pouring him a drink? He's he's like a bad guy. Why is he pouring him a drink? Like, that's awful nice for a bad guy.
Well, I mean,
And then I read this. I'm telling you, I laughed like a maniac on the couch reading that.
they were nice terrorists.
Yeah.
I mean, the girl or
It was probably one of them situations like, hey, you guys got any Coke? And like Gruber was probably like, gave Carl the nod, like, yeah, get him Coke.
He
brings out like a soda.
Coca-Cola.
Brings him in some like a Coca-Cola.
That's
Well,
hilarious.
I mean, Holly demanded, certain things like letting the people go to the bathroom, get a couch.
No, it's
And
just
he's
funny
"Oh, yeah, I
to me
can
that
bring
they're
you a
bad
couch."
guys, they're worldly people, but they don't know what cocaine is.
Well, I think that they just didn't know that he meant cocaine. He just meant like a Coke. You know what I mean? Like, so that makes sense. they're a little naive to it because obviously they don't do coke.
They're worldly people, though. I mean, I don't do coke, and I know what coke is.
Yeah, but I mean,
But if somebody walks up in
just
your
walked up,
up in your office like, "Hey, got any coke?" Like, yeah, it's in the fridge.
If I saw somebody snorting it, I might think. That
Yeah, but they
were-
didn't see him snorting any of it though.
Didn't they though?
No.
Because when he was doing that, and then he walked up to Hans right after.
That doesn't mean anything. That was just, oh, he's got allergies. I wouldn't think nothing of it.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. Originally in Jeb Stewart's script, the character of John McClane was supposed to be yet another 1980s super action hero. So many of the action stars of the era were considered. However, John McTiernan was, in his words, bored with such characters, and since Arnold Schwarzenegger, who had worked with McTiernan a year before on Predator, was considered for the role of John McClane, he and Steven DeSouza rewrote the script, and McClane became more of an average guy who really didn't want to be there in that situation, but became a hero because he realized that he was the hostage's only hope.
And that makes sense. I think that helps the movie. I think if you put Arnold
I think
in
it's
there,
one of those accidental, like we just created something.
if they would have put Arnold in there, I think it would have
clashed
Run
with
of
the
the
other
mill.
guys with the German.
it would have been
Run-of-the-mill.
run of the mill. It would have been a run of the mill Arnold movie that nobody would have cared about.
It would have
Well,
gotten lost in the noise of all
For
the other
sure,
ones that
yeah.
have been forgotten.
But
in
because of
time.
Bruce Willis and his sort of charisma and the movie itself,
Well, being the
the movie was
everyman.
able to shine.
it
more.
being
Well,
the everyman,
The
Yeah.
thieves,
everybody could, the
Instead of looking at
everyman
this
could,
massive jack dude, like,
the everyman could watch this. A cop in New York could
Yeah.
watch this and go, "Oh, that's my life. Yeah, I can
yeah,
do that."
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that if they had Arnold play him, they'd have to have different accents for the thieves. Because, I mean, Arnold's going to
Not
have that.
necessarily. I just think that Arnold would have been too bright of a star in such a movie. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been too much. He would have taken too much from the movie. Like, it would have
Yeah.
been all eyes on Arnold instead of the movie itself.
Well, it
Yeah.
couldn't have
And
been
the
a battle
character.
of wits.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, he's
just-
a pretty smart guy.
He is, but I wouldn't believe that he is. If that makes sense. I just wouldn't anyway. McTiernan felt that Bruce Willis, who was primarily known as a comedic actor, could be that average guy. And when Willis got the part, he and DeSouza added much more humor to the script to tailor it to Willis's comedic talents. And incidentally, in the fourth installment, McClane talks about not wanting to be involved, but does so because he has no other choice. This movie's iconic line, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker," almost came out differently. According to various interviews and commentaries, John McTiernan thought the line should be "Yippee-ti-yay." Bruce Willis argued that it was "Yippee-ki-yay." Apparently, they tried both versions to see which one sounded better, and the now famous "Yippee-ki-yay" won. Each film in the Die Hard series contains a key scene involving an elevator. When McClane meets Hans for the first time, that was improvised, as I said. Alan Rickman does his best American accent to try and fool the hero. The filmmakers had been trying to figure out a way for McClane and Hans to meet face to face before the film's climactic scenes. Once they realized that Rickman could do an American accent, they were off to the races. The scene led Hans to realize that McClane was barefoot and that they should shoot the glass. Bruce Willis took the role of John McClane after it had been turned down by Robert De Niro. Willis had just been turned down to play the role of Charles Grodin opposite De Niro in Midnight Run. Coincidentally, both films opened the same weekend. After John has put the chain around Carl's neck and sent him crashing into the wall, he sits down with his back against a pillar. Over his left shoulder, you can see the actor who plays Carl watching. The Hungarian title is Give Your Life Expensive. The title of the sequel is Your Life is Even More Expensive, and the third part is Life is Always Expensive.
Life is always always expensive.
I thought that was hilarious. What does that have to do with Die Hard?
Yeah.
Richard Gere, Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, Mel Gibson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Clint Eastwood, Robert De Niro, Charles Bronson, Don Johnson, Richard D. Anderson, Burt Reynolds, and Michael Madsen were all considered, but declined the role of John McClane.
Could you imagine if Michael Madsen had gotten it? You think
No.
he'd be much bigger now?
No, I think it would have been bad. I think that it would have been like an Eric Stoltz situation, and they would have realized, like, we did a bad cast. We need somebody else to play this.
Eric who?
Stoltz, the one that was originally going to play Marty McFly.
Oh yeah,
That's what I think would have happened.
maybe.
The teddy bear John McClane carries on the plane in the opening scenes in the same one Jack Ryan carries with him on the plane in The Hunt for Red October. Sam Neill turned down the role of Hans Gruber. Linda Hamilton, Glenn Close, Gina Davis, Deborah Winger, Meryl Streep, Michelle Pfeiffer, Goldie Hawn, Sally Field, Jamie Lee Curtis, Carrie Fisher, and Kelly McGillis were considered for the role of Holly Gennaro McClane. The body count is 18 in this film, compared to 164 in Die Hard 2.
164?
164
And Die Hard 2?
in Die Hard 2.
I don't remember that many people dying.
All right, so you guys ready for this shit? After the release of the film, movie studios executives were keen to copy the movie's formula of one man trapped in an enclosed location fighting off against terrorists. These include Under Siege, Die Hard on a Battleship, Sudden Death, Die Hard at a Hockey Stadium, Air Force One, Passenger 57, and Con Air, Die Hard on various types of plane. Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, and Derailed, Die Hard on trains. These films were all the rage in the 90s. Ironically, the Die Hard sequels themselves would move away from having John McClane fighting terrorists in enclosed spaces, with each subsequent film upping the stakes, such as fighting terrorists in an airport and surrounding area in Die Hard 2, saving the whole of New York and Die Hard with a Vengeance, and the whole of the USA and Live Free or Die Hard. Now, this is what you were talking about, and I thought that everybody knew. For the shot where Hans Gruber falls from the top of the building, Alan Rickman was really dropped 40 feet onto an airbag with a blue screen cover. The background was later edited in. A stuntman held Rickman up with a rope. Mirroring Rickman's line repeated twice in the movie, the stunt crew was to count to 3 before releasing. But to get a genuine reaction from Rickman, the stuntman released the rope on the count of 2, not 3. Rickman later said during a Q&A that the stunt was purposely done on his last day on the set.
On his last day on the set.
That way, if he got pissed, then
Yeah, if he got pissed and he couldn't quit the job, it was done.
So yeah, that was how they got that reaction, because they did it. He wasn't anticipating it.
I wonder if he actually got pissed.
I don't know.
I could see him getting pissed.
I could see him. Yeah, I could see it.
I could see him being like, "What the fuck, dude?
You sons of bitch!
I
quit.
fucking quit. Too late. We already filmed the movie.
Too late. We're done.
We're done. That was
We're all
it.
done.
That's a wrap."
We got the scene.
We got it.
You can go.
All right. So, what are we going to do next week, ladies and gentlemen? Karen?
Shuffle the board.
Die Hard.
Spaceballs. I'm just waiting for Spaceballs.
Madison wants Terminator 2.
Alien.
Oh, yes. Alien.
Now that's going to be the same way.
A horror movie.
It's been a while since we've actually done that.
Well, we just did Evil Dead Rise, but that's a new one.
Yeah.
This way we get to do a classic. Did you put it back?
Is it?
Yeah.
I was about to say, because there's multiple alien movies. What's
Tell me how to do my job.
Anything it's playing on? Karen?
I own all of them on Blu-ray.
I know, but I can just...
I'm sure they're probably on like HBO.
I'm
or
sure I
something.
have them too. Problem is, I don't know. No, it's not available on any streaming services.
Really?
That's surprising.
It'll be after we watch the movie and review it that it'll be on a streaming service.
Yeah. Or like it will say, oh yeah, it's on a streaming service, and then the day I go watch it,
Yeah.
we're not on a streaming service.
You'll just have to borrow it or something off of Karen or,
I'll
or
probably
whatever.
just borrow it off her. Right, but have to be Sunday though. The Sundays are my day to watch them now.
Okay.
All right, so we are watching Alien next week for our 42nd podcast.
Yeah.
42nd. Man, Karen, we've been doing this a little bit.
A little bit.
We're coming up on a year.
Mm-hmm.
I think I came in at 20 something.
Something like that, yeah.
22, 34, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting up there in podcast years, man.
Podcast.
Over the hump.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully. So next week we are going to do Alien. from 1980s.
1970.
70? Is it 70? 70?
79. Late 70s. I know that.
I think you're right. I think it is the 70s.
I should know. I just looked at it.
Who's in it that we always talk about?
Sigourney Weaver.
Not just her.
79.
Michael Biehn.
79.
Or no, he's in the second one. Yep, 79. 1979.
Yeah, I remember that's the second one. Game over, man.
Game over, man.
That's Aliens.
Yeah, that's Aliens. That's the second one. During its return to Earth, commercial spaceship Nostromo intercepts a distress signal from a distant planet when a three-member team of the crew discovers a chamber containing thousands of eggs. I don't know if it was thousands. On the planet, a creature inside of one of the eggs attacks an explorer. The entire crew is unaware of the impending nightmare set to descend upon them when the alien parasite planted inside its unfortunate host is birthed. This movie is a fucking classic. So, buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's only on Starz and DirecTV. If you want to rent it, it's on Amazon, Apple TV, Google, all that other
I
good
have
stuff.
Stars.
Oh, you do?
You can stream it on Starz if you have it.
I have Stars. I can watch it on Stars.
Okay, there you go. So, there you go. Check us out next week whenever we go over Alien. And don't forget to look us up on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you want to email us, it's thebonsaimoviecrew@gmail.com. And also, try to give us, if you got Spotify or anything like that, get on there and rate us. Give us some ratings, man. We'd wholeheartedly appreciate it. Yeah, give us 5 stars. None of that 4 bullshit. Because we're good. We're better than that. We're a 5-star hotel around here. Yeah, we put mints on your pillows. So, just
Not
saying.
between your butt cheeks.
I mean, we will, though, if you want. Just saying.
Nice.
I won't.
Karen, you have to hold the butt cheeks open.
Nope.
Anyway, don't forget all those things I just said. And also, most importantly, don't forget to sacrifice your children. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.